has the names with your project names. So please, the ones who are still having your personal names, add your project name to the Zoom so that we can see it and we can identify you better and easier. For everyone, that could be a very nice bonus for sure. And we're happy to start with the first topic. And the first topic, the first week and the first topic is customer discovery and customer development. Today, we are going to speak more about customer development and tips and tricks, and also kind of going into the 3 domains that we have here. So deep tech, ed tech, and B2B SaaS. And I'm really personally happy to present the speaker today. It's Diana, who is in this customer development sphere and growth sphere overall, not just from the position of the founder or key employee, but also from the position of promoter, I would say, of the empathetical customer development, which I think is a new stage of customer discovery overall within startups. So I think that within further ado, is if everyone is here and everyone is connected and can hear me, so I will give the floor to Diana for the introduction and starting it all.
Thank you very much, Irina. Thank you very much. I'm really excited to be here to kick off this program together with all of you. Let's see how it goes. I hope it will be a very useful workshop for you today, a very useful session. I'm going to share my screen to start the presentation. Please confirm if you can see everything. All you need to see is the first slide of customer development. Okay, I guess you see.
Yeah, just put the pluses. Yes. And the recording also you will get, just answering already the question, sorry.
Yes, I will open also chat so that I have it next to me. So let's start with the quick introduction. I am Diana. Personally, I can say that I was born and raised across 3 different countries of former USSR. I was born in Kazakhstan, grew up in Georgia, and then we moved back to Kazakhstan, and then we moved to Russia. In Russia, I lived in Omsk for around 10 years, and then in Moscow several years. And then I moved to Germany in 2009, and then to Barcelona in 2014. And this is how am I currently in Spain, how I ended up married with my husband, whom I met in Germany, and with 2 amazing small daughters, 7 and 4 years old. And through all this experience, this is how I embraced diverse cultures and perspectives, different perspectives, which have, I would say, personally and professionally shaped my adaptability and the importance of having this open and international mindset and growth mindset, which I'm a little bit working on. I will explain you later why. Professionally, for nearly 2 decades, I have experience on global sales and business development, launching different startups and scaling them. And currently, as a founder of Impact Growth Academy, I focus on helping female entrepreneurs, female founders to get the commercial basics. That's what I'm doing with Impact Growth. However, so why Impact Growth actually was born and why Irina mentioned about ethical part is because at some point several years ago, I realized that all I'm doing is helping startups to grow, to scale, helping businesses to grow and scale. And at some point, I decided that I want to help impact to grow and scale, right? So this is why I changed my direction and I started focusing on impact-driven or purpose-driven startups. And all those ideas and approaches, growing at any cost, burning all the money to gain the market and win the market. I'm against all this, me personally, right? This doesn't mean it's as good or bad. It's just my personal position. And this is how actually impact growth was created, because I'm focusing on helping to grow impact, whatever it is. And this is where I use my experience, and I hope that this experience will be also useful for you for building startups. I see different ages. I'm sure some of you are more experienced than me. But even though if you consider the information which you're going to find today not new, and for some of you it won't be new, repeating it and looking at it from a different perspective, it's also important and it's also useful. And looking at the agenda, today we are going to go through customer development process, so what it is and how is it done. Then we're going to look at 3 methods of customer development. And we're going to do a couple of exercises, split it in groups, where we are going to work on the first thing you need to do for your startup at empathy map and customer interviews. Any questions so far? Everything is clear? Good. So tools. We're going to use 2 different tools. We're going to use Miro board. I will pass you when the time comes in the chat the link. The password was Constructor 2025. And we're going to use for interaction, I will have some questions, menti.com platform. You can either scan the barcode or you can go to menti.com and insert this number, this code, and then you will be getting access to the questions. Before starting, and we will start with menti.com, I always like to manage expectations. The topic is broad. In 90 minutes, it's impossible to cover everything. So, of course, I prepared my own flow, but it's good to go for the expectations. And if you can enter to menti.com, and this will be a test because we will be using it afterwards, please try to get in. And then let me present, 1 second. Enable, yeah. So with this link, and then we can already, we will be able to see what are your answers. So please confirm if you're in. Let's do this technical check. I think I'm present anyway. So far, I have 0 responses.
So you're just getting the QR code scanned.
Yes,
right?
either you can.
Yeah. And also there is a comment, it says quiz is not open.
Yeah, I see it. No, I mean, it should be open now because it's actually live now. Can you please check again? And just type a word. Yes, now okay, thank you. And let's see, what do you expect? What are your expectations from this session, from this meeting? User research, alignment, expectations, market, interesting. Okay, empathy map, mapping impact. Wow, that's a good one. Training, insights. Knowledge, experience, insights, good. That's interesting, huh? Okay, knowledge is winning together with experience. Great. Okay. So I think we have an idea. What are your expectations? I will try to really cover them. Let's now go back to our screens. And before jumping into customer development, let's I would like to understand what is it that you know about it today? You can either answer in Menti, or you can tell me over voice. But what is customer development for you? What is it that you know about it today?
Hi, Abhishek here.
Yes, hello.
Hi, Diana. So for me, the customer development, if I look at, is trying to understand the behavior of different segments of the customer and
Mhm.
see based on that behavior, how do I map my messaging so that they are able to relate to the products, to relate to the services or the features of the application of the product that I have, to be able them to enable them to take an action proactively and use my product.
Mhm. Interesting. So you're talking about messaging, about positioning your product
For
uh,
as per the customer behavior,
from customer behavior.
from behavior
Okay.
standpoint.
So you already assume that you have product built
Yes, we
because
have
you
a
want to
app.
position the product already. Okay. Product market fit understanding. Interesting answers, customer motivations, solutions to the pairs, etc. So thank you very much for your interaction, and thank you, Abhishek, for your input. Let me take you through the basics, right? And the basics for customer development are starting with a very simple question, which, with sharing experience is, have you ever built, or have you heard that someone built something to realize nobody actually wanted it? Have you had this experience? Because I did, me personally, twice in my early 20s. Does someone want to share it, the experience? No, I will share mine. Yes, good. Because I was so sure that what the idea I have, whatever I want to build and take it out to the market, is so great that I skipped the customer discovery stage. I went directly to the second stage of customer development, where I had already the product done and I took it to the market. It happened in my early 20s. And then the second most common error when you're building your own startup is that when you create a product, you already skipped first part, and then you go directly to acquisition, customer acquisition part, to marketing, positioning, etc. And this is when you face a very hard reality that, well, actually, there is no demand coming in, right? Or there is not enough sales, which is expected. Vitalis, you want to say something? You raise the hand. And then I have, okay, Ira, will you manage the queue then?
Later, because there is Pratik, he was first, and then I will tell my.
Yeah, so I will let Ira to manage the queue. But yes, in my experience, I had it, I built it, I realized that it was a painful process to realize that nobody actually needed. And this is why today I will try to take you through the process, important one, to make sure you avoid with your current products this feeling.
Okay, let's go with the questions, or
yeah,
if possible. Okay, Pratik, you have
Yeah,
the-
absolutely. I mean, a lot of time, founders start with an inside out approach where they build something and then they try to sell it. But it's very important to understand the need and the pain point of the customer and align to their need rather than, taking inside out approach.
Yeah, good one.
Right. Thank you for the comment. And yes, and Vitalis.
So basically, yeah, hello everyone. So basically my story was the following. I had my own game development company, and later on, I kind of sold it. I decided to do car sharing marketplace because I've seen it was like quite popular idea in US. but I didn't consider that in US you have local records and a pretty different economy. So I tried to copycat it like Rocket Internet does in Europe. And it was like such a great fail because literally the unit economy didn't match to each other, and the customer acquisition versus like local rental companies was unbelievably not in a positive side. I ended with a great product already developed, but without the customers. That was a really good lesson learned.
Thank you for sharing. That's exactly what we want to try to avoid today. Yeah, and I also saw that there is what you also said, that you wanted to copy paste. And Jasna is saying that she thought, or he thought that customer discovery was done before. There is one important thing I want to tell you is that customer development is not one size fits all process, right? There are different ways to validate your idea. Some will save you months of wasted time. Others will mislead you if you just copy paste what you've done before. Right, today, in today's group, we have challenge because now we have different sectors, different ideas. I went through them. All of them are incredibly useful and interesting. But we have to break down all possible and validated options, and I prepared 3 of them, and pick the right one for your startup, which you can use and which can serve you well. That's the end goal of our session, so that you come out of the session with a clear head that, okay, this is the method which I need to apply, and this is how I need to do it. And before actually going into the basics, what is customer development? From my experience, it is being confused with customer discovery. And customer development is linked to customer discovery. But customer development is much bigger than just customer discovery, right? So that's why let's remember, what is customer development? Is a structured methodology designed to help startups and ventures to identify, test, and validate your business assumptions about customers, not solution, but about customers, their problems and potential solutions. So it's not that when you have built a product and you want to validate customer behavior matching to your product, it's vice versa. You have the idea, you go and you validate it, and then you build a product based on potential solutions. The customer development was initially created by Steve Blank, which is Stanford. He is now in Stanford University. And it was split in 4 stages. Customer discovery is just one stage of it. Then customer validation, customer creation, and then we go to company building, which is more on a scale-up stage when you have all these 3 stages done. If we go to the first one, customer discovery, and this is what we are going to focus on today, right? So what is it, customer discovery? It's when you are identifying your target audience, when you're looking at their pain points, right? You develop hypotheses about the problems and potential solutions. And then you test these hypotheses through interviews, through different prototypes, depends on the product and sector you're in, so that you could validate that the problem really exists and your solution addresses it. This is main thing about customer discovery, what you need to know. And how you do it, we will test it today through interviews, and we do it through different iterations. Then the next one is customer validation, right? So what we do on this, first we identified, we developed hypotheses, we tested them, and then we need to confirm that our product solves the identified problem effectively. And this is where you develop a repeatable and scalable sales process by engaging early adopters. So you have already first customer iterations on this stage. You validate the market demand. This is the key part of this validation step. And this is what you're going to learn through this 2 weeks program, all this process. And then we go to customer creation. And what we do at customer creation stage, we focus on marketing. Abhishek, this is where we focus on marketing. We refine marketing strategy. We focus on demand generation for specific market. And this is where you get your market fit. Right? You know who is your customer, and now you're looking where your customer is. And you create your first awareness campaigns, and you are fine-tuning your customer acquisition strategy. So that's before you actually take your product out there. You don't start with marketing in the beginning. And since I'm advising to several startups, I'm telling you, in the roadmap, you see 1 week on defining target group, and then you have all the marketing processes on the roadmap. Now, marketing will be easy when you have all this prepared and done, when you understand who is your customer and how you can help them. And then the fourth one we said about the company creation, but this stage is not relevant because it's a scale up already level, so I'm not including it here. Then we're talking about methods, right? We're looking at the first step, what we went through it, the customer discovery. And now let's look at the 3 main approaches to customer development / discovery. There are 3 dominant schools. Each has its strengths and weaknesses. Again, there is no ideal, perfect way to do this discovery. And you need to identify which one works for you. Again, you cannot take one, even the proven method, which worked out for you, let's say, in a B2C market, with B2C AdTech product, and you want to replicate it because it worked there well for your deep tech solution as a next stage, this will not work. And since we have different directions and verticals, and we have B2B and B2C, both companies, we need to try to really understand you personally, which one, and test which one is fitting best for you. So first one is Steve Blank's Get Out of the Building method. You've heard about it. The main way how it works is you physically or face-to-face via online call, you meet customers, you talk to them. You cannot replace this method with surveys. Yes, there are some who say, I sent out to 200 customer surveys. This will not work because you need to be talking with open-ended questions. It shouldn't be a question where you get yes or no. It should be a question like an open-ended, where customer tells you how went his day, right? What did he do? Or what usually he does. That's important. And the focus of this method is on problem discovery before designing solution. So it's on an idea stage. You have an idea. Don't look at the specific solution design. It might surprise you. Go and talk to a potential customer. Identify them. How do you identify customer? You create the list of potential customers for your potential idea. At least 100. You need to speak at least to 100 customers. Sometimes I hear that, hey, I spoke to 7 and I got huge insights from 7 customers, and then you start applying those insights and then they don't work. You need to talk personally to 100 customers. That's important. And when you use this method, when the failure is very expensive. So when you have to build some deep tech or some hardware, this is expensive to build, and then I realized that actually something you've built isn't fitting. So that's why in these cases, always first get the feedback, right? And best for B2B, enterprise, and complex products like SaaS, biotech, robotics. The main challenge here in this stage, when you're talking to your potential customers, is to understand which questions to ask and how to ask these questions. And today we're going to have some training about it, right? So if we go to the example, which I use very frequently, is Tesla example. They didn't go to customers. They weren't asking if they wanted an electric car. This is a yes or no question. They were asking about frustrations with gas cars, right? They were asking about, okay, what do you like? What you don't like? Because where there is a I don't like, or I am tired of, or this makes me frustrated, this is where you can type in and you can really make a change. You don't need to recreate the whole product, even the one feature. This is already enough. So that's why this method is really great when you don't need even to, even it's before building an MVP. You talk to customers, you understand, and based on this, you already iterate. Then we go to the second method. Any questions so far on this one? No? Then we go to the second method. It's a famous lean startup, build, measure, learn. How it works, you build an MVP, or the trend is now, say, minimum likable product, MLP. And you measure user behavior and you iterate based on feedback, right? The main focus of this method is that there is speed over perfection. This is why you start with like minimal viable, right? You don't go into perfect final solution. You start with the minimal features, and then you don't look at the perfection. You go for speed because you need quick reaction, quick feedback, and understanding if this works. And then you build up on it. And this one works best for B2C apps, for e-commerce platforms, for ed tech, or AI-driven tools. This is something which you can change. It's not too expensive to build it. There is a hand raised.
I had a question, Diana. So, one of the challenges with deep tech startups is that some of these startups are based upon new discoveries or bringing in new technology, something which is different from the current understanding. When, for example, in our case, we are a cancer genomic startup, and when we are coming up with something, a novel discovery, the challenge over here is that when we try and interview customers, there is a risk of indulging a lot of IP sensitive information, or to explain them that how we are different, or the customer's feedback is based upon the current understanding and not the new understanding that we are developing. So how can we break that ice over there and get a balance over there?
So you were breaking a little bit, but if I understood, you need to get some sensitive information from customers during these interviews. Is it correct?
That's right. Yes.
Okay. So first of all, your approach is already from the beginning, from what I hear, is already based on the build solution. So you know what you want to take out there, right? And you know it's different from what is in the market.
That's right.
However, you want to tackle existing problem.
Yes.
You're building it for something, and the problem exists, and everyone is aware of the problem.
That's right. Yes.
It's just people are not aware that this problem can be solved in a different way, which is your new way, innovative way, right?
Absolutely.
So think from the problem perspective. Don't think from the solution perspective. Solution is new. No one will understand. And you have challenge how to explain the solution to investors who needs to understand where he is investing. But when thinking about customer, think about the problem. So how do you take problem to customer without asking sensitive information, but just asking a question, framing it the way that customer shares this information with you? Yes, and be honest. This is important. Be honest and say why. So when you're asking something and you're adding because, this is crucial. It changes the way customers react and respond. Right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, Bulat is saying that deep take is built from deep knowledge, which means you know the problem already based on expertise and experience. Exactly, I agree with you. But sometimes I've seen solutions which are super innovative, but market is not ready for them. Market is just not ready, and it's just you launch it and you cannot take it further. So how to understand how you prepare your solution, so you know from the solution perspective that this will really be a game changer. But from the user perspective, you need to understand, yes, Google Glass users, what one they are, this is for gamers, these are the first early adopters, Google Glasses, right? They want to try, they want to discover. They are seeing they're there on the screens playing, and they want to discover the Google Glass as well. This is adventurers. But that wasn't, I didn't use Google Glass because because I'm not a gamer myself. It didn't attract me. But you know, they went for some specific audience in the beginning. That's why you need to know the customer. You need to know who is that early adopters. You don't launch a product and then look for customer. Maybe your idea is great, but you need to start with a simpler one, or you need to start with the better one, how to approach it. And then, okay, there is another feedback. Problem of technology, good one. And not the product itself. Maybe, but it was also a product, because they, you know, like recently I read a story about Lego. I liked it a lot. It has nothing to do with deep tech, but this is the example of Google Glass and all those like big, let's say, enterprises, monopolies, which are trying to invest their resources and time and money in something new instead of making what they have better, because Google has much more to fix on the existing products instead of focusing on creating Google Glass. Let others focus on Google Glass. So what they started, like off topic, right? Making on this comment. So what Lego did is they grew great with those blocks, Lego blocks, and then they started investing into thematic parties, into Lego parks, into different, like totally distracting their focus from where it should be in the beginning. And they thought, okay, we can do this and we can do that. And then in 2015, they went totally down. They were 800 billion in debt, until the new CEO came and he stopped all of that. And he put focus back on what was initially Lego doing and improved it. Instead of having 7,000 different items, they limited it to 100. But with different ideas how to build them. And this is how they re-engaged and grew again and start having different big partnerships. Same applies to your statement. It's a problem, not the product. It's not a problem of technology. It's a solution. It's a product for someone, right? And other brands, glass brands and technical brands also created those. But it's the distractor, either for consumer to forget about the problems which Google has, Google products, or for Google itself, because because they didn't want to invest. They think everything works the same way. So going back to the initial question about how to approach the sensitive information, and that's a very good question, and it's a hard one. Try to approach it from problem perspective and try to ask not direct question about sensitive information, but try to ask questions which would include answers about that. Don't try to get sensitive information directly. Yes, Vitalis.
And also, like from my personal experience, I conducted, I don't know, like more than 100 interviews. If you're asking literally like a consent for recording, which is quite useful now, you won't ever like 99% have any issues, like just asking any questions, just if you do not publish it for sure, or share it in internet, just to like understand the problem more.
Yeah, very good point. Yes, totally agree. And that's about method 2. Do you have any questions about it? If not, for time perspective, let's move to method 3. And this is about fake it before make it. I really like it myself because it saves a lot of time. So how it works, you test the demand by simulating product or product experience or service experience before you fully build it. This is where you're focusing on validation before committing resources to really develop something. And it's best for med tech, it's best for some deep tech as well. When you create a prototype, a digital one, and make customer to go through this experience before you really create a product so that you could get the feedback. There is a pro for this method because it's a low cost and quick validation method, but there is also con that it's hard to scale initially because a lot of manual work is required. For example, Zappos, what they did by manual work, before becoming the giant in their like shoes industry, they were photographing shoes in stores and putting those pictures on the landing page, on the page, and selling them online without holding the inventory. And then they realized there is really demand for that, right? And then they start already investing in creating that e-commerce platform. So that's why prototyping is really a very, let's say, powerful tool, powerful way of customer discovery. And I really recommend everyone, if there is a way you can prototype your product, create this prototype and take your customers through it and get the feedback, that's the best thing you can do for your product, for your future startup. Then looking at the all those 3 methods, obviously you might ask yourself how you can choose among them. And there's very simple decision tree for that, right? You ask the main question, is my product expensive to build? If the answer is yes, go to Steve Blank's method and talk to customers face to face and avoid costly mistakes. If it's a no, move to the next question. Can I fake it first? If you can fake it, use prototyping, manually simulate features before automating. If it's a no, go to the MVP directly, a real but minimal product, and start gathering data and iterating. And there is a very simple first exercise based on this. Let's go back to Menti, and I would like you, based on this questionnaire in Menti, to answer, like make this quick decision tree and to define which one works best for you, which method. I will leave the tree here for 2 minutes, 1 minute, so you could think, and then we go to the results. Okay. Steve Blank is winning so far here in the current setup. That's great, because this means that you want to really talk to your customers. Okay. Good. But there is another thing, which I didn't tell you, is the fourth method, which I am using always. I never go for one. It's a hybrid one. I combine all three. And this is my favorite, and we've tried it in many startups, and it really works perfectly. So you go with the Steve Blank's method, right? You start with problem interviews. You go after the pain points of your customers. Then you move, as a next step, you move to faking it, right? You're testing demand with minimal investment. This is through landing pages. You can do it either through pictures, like as Zappos did. There's different ways how you can fake it. And then you progress into lean startup part, which is building an MVP. Even if you have all the information from all the feedback, all the insights about the pains of the customer, you're sure your solution is great, don't build the final solution. Focus on MVP first, gather data, iterate rapidly, and then this is how you can then get to the final good product with the already preliminary demand tested and knowing all the pain points of your customers. So why I like this method? Because it combines depth from interviews or from conversations with customers with speed from MVP testing. I really like it. It reduces risk because I'm validating both problem and solution before actually taking out fully to the market. And I really like one very good example how this hybrid approach was used by Dropbox. So first they focused on the interviews, on the problem. And by doing the interviews, they discovered that users actually forget USB drives. So they don't carry them with them, right? And whenever they need access to the data, they don't have it, or to the documents. Then they created a demo video of what they wanted to, a video of what they wanted to create, and explain their concept through the video to the customers and ask customers to sign up for a wait list. And they launched an MVP with a wait list of 75,000 signups overnight. Of course, when the MVP was launched, they had a very strong demand to test that MVP. They only opened it for those signups, and they got very strong feedback, and they iterated and then launched the final product to the market. Right? That's how it goes. This is why I love this method, and it combines all three schools, and it's just you don't need to focus on every one separately. You just combine all of it and take best parts of each stage. And of course, so do you have any questions about methods so far?
Yes,
No.
we have Pavel raising hand.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Hello, everything. I just want to tell about our experiences about the third approach combined, because we tried the first approach, open conversation, but our customers are very hard to reach and not very open to share their problems. We work with industry, and then we moved to the second approach, like pilot projects, free pilot project, MVP product, to learn from a real case. And now we also actively use the third approach, prototyping, to test ideas fast before investing a lot of time and resources. Yeah, it's a really cool approach, because while I listen the first, second, third, I think just we use combined method.
Very good. Thank you very much for your feedback and for experience. Yeah, in B2B space, it's much more difficult to reach out. It depends on the industry, but it's much more difficult to reach out to customers. Sometimes you know what works when you kind of tell that you're doing a research and you need their expert feedback. And through this expert feedback, even if you don't publish in the, you have to publish, but you kind of like go through the expertise, because there's ego always, right? Which we like us to be asked as an expert. And in B2B space, this one, I always used it. Hey, I want to publish an article. I need an interview with you. Would you have 15 minutes? This always works in B2B.
Thank you.
There were others' hands or not? No? Okay.
I think it was just the, no, there are hands more.
Okay.
So yeah, thank you so much for being so fast. So yes, Ali, your turn.
Okay, thank you. Yes, that's also a pain point we had. Like there are less people ready to sit with you and spend their time and give you feedback until before you have like a working product for them. So you know, even showing your prototype, which is like a huge thing in our case, it was like more difficult to approach and motivate the people and to sit. One strategy we had was to say, okay, we offer you free memberships after the product launch. It helps some, but in some other cases it was difficult to motivate them, and before you have something to offer. That's I like to know more tips about that.
Look, Ali, just quick feedback, because there is also line waiting. Instead of offering them, you went in the right direction to offer something as a reward for their time. But instead of offering something as a free membership when you have the product launched, go have a partnership with some coffee store or with something where you can offer some tangible, let's say €5 or €10 coffee check, where they can go and take and drink some coffee or something, you know, offer something tangible they can use now, because you're asking them, they might not be your customer. If you're offering a free membership, right, in the future, they might not be your customer. You'll assume they are, but it might be during the conversation you discover they are not. So always is good to offer something which is online, digital, or give a gift. Let's say plant a tree as a, or like there is one startup I'm advising. They're replacing gifts through offering, okay, you can give a gift by planting a tree or feeding a family in Africa, right? So there's different good ways, good causes, existing ones, which customer can benefit from by investing some time talking to you, rather than thinking about some existing product which they don't know about yet. That would be the tip.
All right, let's move on to Dmitry.
Everyone, thank you, Diana, for this part. But actually, I think that we honestly we've skipped straight to step 2 of Fast Dev. In my experience, most founders don't even get that far. They get stuck and they go out and talk to customer stage. Fear kicks in and they don't even know where to start and how to approach people. Any tips on that?
Yeah, we will do exercise about it, about customer interviews, where you will have chance to practice between each other and learn from each other. And there also prepared several videos which are very useful. They are out there in YouTube on what type of questions to ask and how to approach it.
I think that the core problem is the psychology problem. you don't even get that far because even if you know the questions, you try to postpone this stage because your fear is killing you, and you try to postpone this task with class dev, and you never start the class dev stage, and you never get to the customer interviews because you know that you don't even know where to start, how to get that interviews, etc. So now we're discussing the second stage where you're already in the interview, but most of founders, in my experience, don't even get that far.
Okay. Because of psychological barrier, you mean that you are not comfortable or something?
No, it's not about me, but just a common issue.
No, I mean, yes, not you personally, in general as a founder, right? Founder is uncomfortable. I didn't mean you personally. But in this case, I always recommend to get a salesperson in. Let the salesperson knows how to find customers to talk to, even if it's like a junior, because you cannot afford a superstar. You don't need a superstar at this stage. Get someone for 2 weeks, some service, a professional one, but not a third party, because you need to be hearing and participate in hearing. Because 1, 2, 3 interviews you will be listening, and then the fourth one, you will know how to adjust the questions, because you will be already getting insight. You will be understanding the flow. But get someone who is confident doing this type of things. Don't force yourself. Just hire someone.
In this case, how to fix the broken phone issue.
How to fix which issue?
Broken phone issue. That someone will talk to the customers, but not you.
Yeah, but you need to be there listening.
Okay.
You need to be listening there. This is why I said don't outsource it. Bring the person next to you. This salesperson will know how to find whom to talk to. And when there is real conversations, either video or face-to-face, go with them and be there and hear, listen. Listen how the questions are asked, and mainly listen the answers. And this is because you know it. You feel, you as a founder, you feel if the conversation is going in the right direction, if you're getting the needed insights or not.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And let's go to Bono, and then let's go to the exercise, because I'm looking at the time, it just flies. Yes, Bono.
Yeah.
I think you answered to my question, but anyway, I will ask it. Like for customer development, how can I do a good customer discovery if I only talk to managers, not the end users, for example, in large corporations, organizations? And imagine if I don't have enough resources and time, so I need to do it by myself as a founder.
Yeah. So why can't you talk to end customer?
Let's say like there is a large organization, and anyway, I cannot find the end user properly. It's complicated. So and there is access only through the managers.
You mean when your target group is B2B and this is large enterprises?
Yeah.
You don't need to aim of, there is also one misleading that you think you need to be talking in the B2B space with C-level, with directors, with heads. No, that's not the case, even if you need to sell to them, but to get the feedback and insight, you can talk to managers. Okay, and so that it's good. So have you tried talking to managers?
I did, but sometimes it's difficult when we talk to managers and we talk to C-level people. Anyway, it's like different. The C-level people say in one way, and the managers, they're thinking, understanding, and everything is totally differently. So yeah,
but
there is.
Okay, if you want, not to take a lot of time, but here it's not the matter who is responding, it's the matter to get the understanding of the problem of the company, not problem of the manager or C-level person. You want to solve some problem for this company. And if it's not the trainee or someone, any employee who works for X years in the company should be able to give you this feedback. That's what you focus on the problem for the company. So don't ask personal questions that C-level and manager are responding differently. Maybe if it's the matter of strategy, then go to directors or a bit, but don't aim at very high C-level, or launch a research, an open research where you will be asking them to participate as experts as well. Right? Try to find other hooks, how to get them into, if you need specifically, I don't know, some information which other employees don't have. But usually big corporations, they're quite transparent. And if it's an employee, don't go for the one who is there for 2 months, obviously. This person will not be able, even if it's manager, won't be able to give you right response about the company needs and problems. But go for the person who is there for a couple of years and understands, look what kind of, whom he reports to, and choose, right? You need to invest in selection. And yes, unfortunately, time needs to be invested in it, even if you're alone doing it by yourself. But don't rush building a product. Invest time, even if you need to invest 2-3 months, but invest time into it. That's my recommendation.
Thank you. But the reality is, like, even in Central Asia or
Of
MENA
course.
region, it's totally different. Like when we want to have the access to the let's say CEO who has total different understanding, and they provide us the managers, and like the expectations and the reality is totally different, and even their thinking. So when we get the answers, it's very important to, as you said, anyway, like to get to the CEO or the founder or whoever it is, like C-level person.
Okay, well, you need to be trying, looking for different hooks if you really need. But I also hear you're saying about different understanding of your solution, you mean. Don't go with the solution. Don't go. Explain why you're asking the question, but don't ask, will this be useful for you, or how you're going to use this solution? No, they have no clue what you're building. You need to go and ask, okay, your solution, for example, solves meeting issue, right? Just creating right now on the fly. There's too many meetings in big corporations. You have a solution which will solve these meetings. Don't go and ask, do you need the solution? Are you frustrated with meetings? Right? Go instead, okay, would you like to have 15 minutes between each meetings instead of back-to-back meetings, for example? And ask different questions when any type of employee will be giving you the same answer, because back-to-back meetings are frustrating, they're distracting, etc., right? So would this 15 minutes be useful or not? Or what else? What is frustrating you from having too many meetings? What are those too many meetings? Never ask, is 7 meetings a day a lot to you? What if for some person 3 meetings a day is a lot to you? Ask how many meetings a day is a lot to you. Just like looking at the solution of meeting management, right? Came to my mind. But anyways, don't go with the solution, never, to customer. Go with the problem which you think your solution is solving. And then you will be getting right answers. Okay, and before jumping quickly to the exercise, of course, I need to, regardless the chosen method, whatever you choose, ethics must remain at the core of customer development efforts. And there is ethical guardrails, which are being understood differently. For different people, it means different things. And just quickly, let's go back to our Menti part. And I would like you 1 minute, literally, to type one word. What is ethics for you? to understand how in customer development, of course, ethics in marketing is one thing, in sales is another thing. For customer development stage, how would you understand how ethical should you be? Okay, someone tells you you should be ethical, but what does it mean for you? Please type one word. Yes, of course, I'm sorry. You can go to the code 5778785, but let me go back to the QR code. Here you have QR code. Okay. Was I quick or it was enough? Okay, responsibility, honesty, trust, gender, race, self-identification, boundaries, ask, honesty is winning, no overselling. This is a good one, I love it. Trust, respect, no spam, good one. Build trust, self-identity, very good. So you're all thinking in the right direction. Some of these statements, they are the end result. You have to build trust, right, in order to have that trust with the customer. So there are three. I will send all these slides with the answers later to Irina, and she will share with all of you. But there are like three main things for customer development to be ethical. Avoid deception. Never use fake testimonials or misleading claims during faking your product or MVP testing. Never. Be always honest, be transparent, explain why. Again, I told you the rule of because. Because makes the conversation much more smoother. Respect privacy, right? There was for no spamming, respect. That's exactly what it should be. Do not exploit customer data as well. Customers are used that we live in a world when nothing is private. Any data is shared and sold from here, from there. But at least from the beginning, don't exploit this data. If it's legally permissible, but don't go there. On a long run, it won't be beneficial for you. And always consider harm. How do you consider harm? You ask yourself, who could this harm? Either the question, there was also some race, right? All of that. Either the question, who could harm, or your product, who could this harm? Right? And try to take into account all parts of your product creation, even if it's totally digital, right? But we know that CO2 emission is being produced from different data store houses, etc. So always think about who could this harm and can you do it in a more sustainable way, right? Or a more respectful way on the level of questions. That's what I wanted to tell you from the theoretical part. Of course, there is like in general, when you talk about ethical guardrails, there are three main ethical pitfalls, which I call it 3P framework: people, planet, profit, right? People is when you need to respect privacy, when you need to avoid deception. Planet, when it's about energy footprint or AI data centers, for example, in case of a digital product. And profit is always, don't go for the growing at any cost, winning the market at any cost, burning all the money, right? Monetize without exploitation, even if it can take you a bit longer. But on a long run, it will create this trust everyone was talking about. Trust, honesty, responsibility, right? That's all for the theory. We can now jump to practical part. Do you have any questions so far? No. So then we are going to do the customer empathy map. What is it? That empathy is the foundation of customer development. It's when you step into your customer's shoes before having interviews, right? This is all your assumptions. And I will give you the Miro board link. I will put in the chat. Is everyone familiar with Miro board? And the password, oh, wait a second, I think I put direct message instead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's better with a direct message. And
everyone in meeting, right? I did it. And the password for Miro board, where I had it. I had it in the beginning. 1 second. It was Constructor 2025. This is the password for the Miro board. When you are there, please let me know, and I will guide you through the first task. You can follow me by clicking my icon here so that you know. We're going to split, Irina will help me, we're going to split into 3 groups, right? B2B, SaaS, AI, EdTech, and Deep Tech. The 3 groups are a little bit different with the example of the case, of the question, right, for the latest stage. But the first stage, it won't be much different. So let me explain to you. You need to think, who will you enjoy working with or for? You need to think about your customer. Please don't move anything. I only type that in the squares. I will explain you. Let me guide you. As a result, here I created the ideal target customer description, right? It's for my impact growth. When I was creating, I did all of that for my recent project. And as a result, you're going to get who is your customer. You're going to get what are the potential titles, etc. What is the age, what they're working with, what it means for the customer, right? As a result, so that you know who to target for the interviews. But before, you need to focus on the pain points. What are the problems? So in these squares, I would like to ask you in each group to choose one startup, so you could all participate. You could choose by yourself one startup and create this empathy map together for this one startup. You will do a favor for someone, but at least you will do the practical exercise, right? And you need to think what the customer verbally expresses. You need what customer might not say it out loud but thinks. What are emotional drivers, frustrations, aspirations? What actions and behaviors customers do, right? And what is the challenges they face? What are the main pain points? Put yourself in the shoes of your customer and type several ideas here in these boxes. Again, each group has its own area to play with. Then you go to the desired outcome, right? What are the gains of the customer by using your solution? You go to the desired outcome, and then you also type here potential assumptions. All of this is your assumptions. And then you go to the ideas, what you can offer them, what will help them achieve their goals based on the features, not the final product. This is the product, right? No, but based on the features, what it will help them, what will help them, right, to achieve their desired outcome, their goals. This is the first task. Don't look here first. This will be in the end after the emotions. But this is the first task I would like you to focus on. And then we will move to the second task, which will be interview. Is everything clear how task should be performed? Any questions?
Well, in anyways, let's start building
Yes,
and
yes. Let's
brainstorming.
start. Let's give it 15 minutes.
Yeah, one second. I will just explain that I have just opened now 3 breakout sessions. So we're working with more self-identification on where you are. So B2B SaaS, EdTech, or Deep Tech. So please join right now. The rooms are open. Just click on the breakout sessions on your Zoom board underneath, and you can see them. Hopefully, I mean, everything, Zoom is changing constantly, but I hope that everything since like last week, okay, I see people are starting to. So yeah, just choose your group and start to create. I think that now we're just wearing the hats of the, creative mode. So choose B2B SaaS, EdTech, or Deep Tech. Okay, I see people joining. Wow, Deep Tech is growing fast. EdTech, who is here from EdTech? Please, please, please go ahead. And let's go with the flow of 15 minutes so that in 15 minutes we will be back. But if something, I will just announce everything. So
Yes,
it's all good.
I will be also tracking a little bit here.
Yeah.
Try to have a very open discussion, conversation, think out loud together, right? To come up with the pains. And yeah, I think it won't be a problem to choose one project, and then you will be presenting and explaining why you think this.
All right. Let's go. So everyone who is here, who is in the main room, please go ahead. B2B SaaS, EdTech, Deep Tech, get to know each other, get to feel in the creative Mario board.
You wanted to pause a recording during this session.
Yes, I will. That's a good idea. I mean, there will be no recording anyways, but then.
So thank you everyone for your effort. I see some proceeded to the third stage, which is the solution, the ideas, how to solve, how to get to customers' gains, and some didn't. But anyways, let's do the 3-minute per group and discussion and see what was your experience and what were the difficulties. First of all, the first board is EdTech in the end, or is Deep Tech? The hardware, everything, hacked website. Who was working on this one? Who can present and explain what solution did you choose, and what was the thought process? Okay. Salim.
Sorry. So for Deep Tech.
No, all good. Let's listen to Alejandro, and then
Alejandro.
Salim also will add on.
Okay. Well, we are in Deep Tech. Maybe this is the square. I don't. Brand image. No, so this is not what we see on the. Okay. So first of all, the customers, I believe. Okay. First of all, we are developing a medical imaging system for delivering better treatments of radiation therapy. Our customers are basically hospitals with this type of capabilities. Hospitals where are deliver radiation therapy.
Yeah.
Between them, I do recognize there are hospitals that are more inclined to just delivering the treatments, and there are other hospitals that are more into research and trying to improve the field overall. So in my case, that type of hospitals will be the type of early adapters. Let's say, for example, Heidelberg Institute in Germany. There are university that basically all the patients are involved in some sort of a clinical trial. So this type of institutions will be my early adapters.
Okay. The question is, why do you think that this type of institutions are your early adapters? How did you get to this conclusion?
Right. So first of all, I come from this field, and
know how I work in several hospitals, and I took classes for example, in Heidelberg. So I do know how hospitals, at least here in my country, they work. And I know that they are mostly just focused on delivering the treatment, and they have a lot of patients, and this pretty much they get into kind of a monotony procedure. Is just patient after patient, but I'm using only the tools that are available on the market, already recognized and already in the market. So this type of institution like Heidelberg, they they try to use new tools, and they know problems, and they try to solve their problems by their own even. And so because of this reason, they are always trying to search what is in development, what are the new technologies, or what is the state of the art, to try to get better results. So they are more into trying to progress the field itself. I don't know if I'm getting too deep into the technical side.
Yes, maybe, because you're going into solution. You're again talking about solution. My question was, how did you come up that this specific group will be your early adopters? And the response which I would expect here would be that 70% of tests in those hospitals, I know that they fail, right? Or they are not complete, or customers are not being detected the right issue, right? Through this radiation therapy, that you come up with the problem which hospitals face.
Right.
So it fails, right? The process fails, and then you ask yourself, why no one came up with the solution for this process? Because you are not the most genius in the whole world. There were people obviously thinking about potential solutions. And you need to think, okay, what has been done so far in this field? Maybe you already looked at it, but this would be the thought, not about your solution which you're driving, which you're trying to present to the hospitals, but understand why this group I want to understand. And I didn't get the response. I got a perfect pitch for your idea, for your solution. But the response, the why, I don't have it, because I need to know why. Why those? Are they the ones which are most concerned? Why other hospitals are not concerned about this? Maybe they are not, or which region? Why Germany? You're mentioning Heidelberg University Institute. Why Germany? Why not York? Are you living in Germany?
No,
No, because you mentioned in your country, yeah. So why not your country hospital, for example? Maybe because you have connection to Heidelberg, because you studied there. This is your thought about identifying your first customer. But one customer is not enough to bring the product to the market. It's not enough to test it. So you need to forget about Heidelberg. It will be your first customer, maybe for the interview, and talk to them. Think about the questions, which will be the next task to talk about. Think about the questions which to ask, but don't focus on one. Think about the problem. What is the problem you're solving?
Right. So the problem, as you said before, I was more focused on the different types of customer. The problem, as you said, is that the treatments are being delivered, and a big percent of them they are getting they are unsuccessful at the end. That's the problem.
And then ask why they're getting unsuccessful, right?
So there are
Because
many technical reasons there.
There are many technical reasons. You cannot solve all of them, but you need to know all of those reasons in order to be able to tackle ones and see what would be potential impact of solving those reasons, right? And this is how you start. And what are what are the customers saying about it? Is it enough for them? Maybe they will want to wait for something which will solve more reasons. Maybe just ticking 3 technical reasons is not enough. Maybe they want something which will solve 6 reasons instead of 3, or maybe 1 will be enough already to make the quality of treatment better.
All right, sorry, I'm here
Yeah.
a bullshit cutter.
Good.
So
Good.
thank you
Good.
so much, Alejandro. Pratik, one question from you, and then we move on to the other groups.
Yeah, so I was just helping my teammate out, Alejandro. So as he said, that one of the reasons why he believed hospitals would be customers would be that a lot of treatments, like 70% treatments, he said that are not getting optimal results over there. So that's one. Then I think the other thing we can think of that what is the cost of delivering these sort of treatments in different regions? It might be high in certain Western countries, might be not affordable to a lot of people in others lower income countries as well. And in terms of why institutes would like to adopt it, because they first want to treat the patient in a credible manner with an advanced science-based product, and which is giving more optimal results for the cancer treatment.
Yeah. But as I agree, these are all valid assumptions. These are all valid assumptions. But in order to validate them, you need to talk to the hospitals.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right? And the assumptions need to be also at what stage of cancer this is maybe applicable, etc. So the idea is not going deeper into this specific solution, but the idea is to understand the flow, the process of thinking, and the creation of the questions, which will be the next task, right? Which you will have to come up with at least 6 questions. Let's go to the second group. Thank you very much. Interesting exercise. Hope it was a bit useful for you to start thinking about your product in a different way. Let's move to another group. This one, which was the new B2B. Who can present this group? What is the idea? And
so it took a little bit of time to with which product we are going to go, and Abhishek, we were trying to nail down what his product is solving, and we identified just a few majors like high cost acquisition cost, and that it's for social exposure, and some kind of a description on ideal target customer. But I think Abhishek can present it by himself better.
Sure.
Yes.
Great. I'll take it up. So if you look at the first part of the section, which is the ICPs, which is ideal target customer. The first one was from a gender perspective, it varies, right? It could be anyone. Doesn't matter, male, female. From a leadership role, it would be either ideal founders or the product leaders. So what we are doing is from a business standpoint, we're enabling businesses to use their existing customers that they're acquiring and make them into advocates so that they can promote products and services into their own network. So then tap their network on behalf of the existing customers, on behalf of the businesses, right? So this is one use case from a customer's business standpoint. And on the customer standpoint, the other use case would be that they are getting the opportunity to promote a lot of products and services and the ability and tap into their network and monetize their network. So ability to make money from the comforts of their home. So that's one sort of use case that we have. The second use case is businesses can use our product to even conduct a lot of user feedbacks, not just from an e-commerce standpoint, even if they have different other businesses, they can get user feedbacks through and user reviews through our product as well. So taking that into consideration, we said that founders and product leaders would be the people who would probably be able to take if they really want to get it implemented at their own company. Correct?
Yeah.
So
Let's focus on the problem, on the pains. If you're talking about existing customers, how high customer acquisition cost can be a pain?
So
how
basically,
are you?
Almost every business that you talk about, everyone wants to reduce their cost of acquisitions, right? And we spend a lot of money, each one, even in this room that we have, right? We spend a lot of money to acquire our customers. So high CAC at the initial stage, at our stage, pre-seed, seed stage, is always a concern for a lot of companies, and not just at this stage, even later on also the high CAC is a concern. How this problem, how this solution helps them address is that we enable the existing customers whom we have acquired, let's say by spending a lot of money, we are
Yeah.
now enabling them to promote us into
I
their
don't
own.
want about solution. Let's focus on the customer. Who are you going to conduct interviews with?
Founders, founders and product managers on one hand. There are two
Why?
sides.
Why
Why?
them?
Why them? Initially founders, because, and we have done that already with bunch of founders in India already. Wherein we reached out to them, we asked them that what is the customer uh, onboarding journey that you have, and are you facing issues acquiring and retaining customers, right? So
Yes.
they
Okay.
are the decision makers.
Yes.
Why are they answering the decision makers?
I am sorry for interrupting, but due to time concerns, just quick feedback. In your case, you conducted several interviews with founders, but in your case, I would go and talk to customers. Because customer is the one who should be becoming an influencer of this service, of this product which they're purchasing. You need to talk not to the founder. You gather information from customers. You get that data. If what type of products customers are happy to share feedback openly and promote, where they are, how they, in which way they are willing, what they're expecting for that. And by gathering all this information, you go to founders and you say, look, your customers actually are willing to promote you, and this is the solution which can help you to activate your existing customer base. Founders will not give you insights you need. You need to be talking to end customer, the one who will be using your solution. For founder, this is a tool to reduce cost, increase loyalty, increase retention. Clear, but the founder will not be using this tool. You need to be talking with the one who will be using your tool. And this is just a final, let's say, feedback, not to go deeper into the solution, but I would recommend you to change direction, shift direction, and go to the ones who will be using your solution, which is a great idea. It's very useful for e-commerce if it works the way you're explaining it, but you need to be interviewing not the founders at this stage. You need to start with the ones who will be using it, if they're comfortable with it. Because founders will buy and their customers will not then share the feedback or recommend the product. This is something which I would recommend to look at.
Thanks. We did both that line actually, and actual people are also recommending products and services in the network. So we got feedback from the ground before we went to the founders.
Okay, so you went to.
While I was talking to you, it's like an open marketplace module, right? On one side there is supply, the other side there is demand, correct? So we did both. So first we went to the founders, then we went to the users, and later on again we went to the founders. It could have been better for us to first talk to the user and then go to the founder, but we did that exercise. We first went to the founder, asked them, do you need something like this that is going to help them? We got the answer, yes, they're positive. Then we did a lot of offline user interviews, going on the ground to different cities in India, and figured out that
you've done half of the customer discovery already.
Yes. And then from there, we again went back and saying, hey, look, this is something that is also coming from the ground. And then we went ahead and started building something like that. When initially we built the app for the customers so that we can acquire customers. And then later on, now we'll be focusing on building a B2B aspect of that.
Yeah. Okay. So then the process is clear. You are following in the right direction. You just need to understand how to process all this information then, and how to take it then for the MVP stage. You are on an MVP stage more if you get all the insights.
All right. Sorry again to be a bullshit cutter. We have the third group still kind of commenting. I don't know what happened within the B2B group, but we at some point we saw that you have new B2B board and I guess old B2B board, or who was working there. Maybe just a quick, one person presenting commenting on this board that is seen on the screen? Who was it? Or like someone, if you want to go ahead.
Okay, I didn't write the customers. I just started with problems because in our solution we have different kind of customers. So it will take time to address all of them. But the common problem is websites get hacked. So that is something the common on all customers we target. And another problem is like when you visit a website, the response time is slow sometimes. Like when you click some link, you wait 1 second, 2 seconds to start the process of loading the page. So like this is actually our initial product is targeting the WordPress websites, but this is common not only just WordPress, but even the big e-commerce sites have same problem. And in this I will is in when we talk about the WordPress to solve these pains problems, the technical guys or the site owners need a lot of tools to implement. There are many plugins which try to solve the security issue, response issue, speed issue. So like to be able to solve speed, people need to install 5 or 10 different plugins, add-ons. And another problem is websites goes down. This is not related to the WordPress, but it can be data center issue or some other infrastructure issues that happens too. So the gains, if you solve these problems, like if your websites get hacked, so you won't have a good brand image, or if your website is down, your brand image also going down. So like if you solve the problem, then the gains are better brand image. And another thing is for e-commerce, it is the business continuity. Because if your site is down and if you are doing e-commerce, then you can't continue selling. There are also other things like you get organic traffics from search engines.
Okay, Salim, sorry, I'm also kind of going into this bullshit mode, bullshit cutter mode, sorry, not bullshit mode. So maybe just one final point that you want to say what you have identified in this empathy map, and we will get the feedback from Diana and wrap it up. Or if you want to add anything, like just a cherry on top. Everything is cherries on top.
Yeah. Okay, then maybe I can start with the quick feedback. I mean, the process which you are sharing is the right one. The only thing is that about what do they want to achieve? The pains and frustrations are very clear, but what do they want to achieve from working with e-commerces and fashion tech providers for e-commerces and brands? They want to, I would say that your customers, they want to, instead of brand image, better, they want to achieve security, stability of their work, and easiness, right? Simplicity in managing websites from the security perspective. These are the three things. And then you could ask in the interviews, you could ask, what would be the best idea, the best scenario, let's say, right, for you? Like not how many tools you would like to use, but what would be the best scenario? One-click solution, one plugin, or whatever, right? Which would, again, like maintain the website secure and up and running without any downtimes. Or for how, what is the percentage of reduced downtimes you want to have, right? In some cases, I remember when I was working, Zara was one of our customers. They, in the SLA contract, they wrote 99.5%. So they don't accept any downtimes because in 1 second, they have so much sales happening on the website that they lose a lot. So downtime is a very, very important pain point, which I would focus on your case. And hack security, these two, and then develop from there the list of questions which you would ask, so that you would know which features are more important for your customers to focus on, because you cannot solve all of it in one. That's a quick feedback from my side.
Thank you so much, Diana. And yeah, I think I'm going to a little bit wrap it all up, because otherwise on the first workshop, we will use all the fuel for the next ones. And thank you for the 18th survivors here in the room. Thank you, Diana, a lot for your very valuable input, and the exercise. I think it was a really, really nice one. However, this is the first thing that I want to say, is that please, right now, I'm posting in the chat the feedback form. So spend one couple of minutes to just evaluate what you have learned today, what you have discussed today, like overall for us to, you know, maybe modify some of the things along the way with the workshops. Meanwhile, again, Diana, thank you a lot for the presentation. And that was a good input, I think, from Vitaly's side, since we're speaking about empathetical. Is everyone okay with sharing your comments, not just the input from the speaker, regarding the discussion in the overall room and the overall questions with the larger group, so with the mainstream group? So please just put the pluses if it's okay, or if you have something against, then I will come, or just come back to me. And okay. Perfect. I see the first one, but I hope that empathetical, we're being ethical and empathetical, so we are asking for your opinion. Nevertheless, thank you so much for participating today, and thank you so much for staying up until the very end. Final takeaways, you want to say something, Diana? And
well,
then
first
we
of
will
all, yes, I wanted, thank you, Ida. I wanted to thank this amazing group. You're really very experienced group, and it was nice working with you and getting all your feedback. You challenged some of the statements I was saying. I really like it always when this is happening. I always like summarizing quickly. First of all, I will share the slides with Irina of the results of mentee engagement. I will share the Miro board because there's template, let's say, for questions, for interview questions, and some videos I put. I will leave the access to Miro board for you, so that you could download, check, and get access to that. And on the customer development roadmap, so always do the check if you're in the right path. If it's a high risk, go for the interviews, never skip them, invest all the time you need. If it's a low cost, go to the MVP and really test the real product, real iterations, and then a real engagement with the customer. If you're uncertain about your product, just fake it and get the validation of your idea. You want to balance depth and speed, go to the hybrid mode. And always apply, always build the empathy map. You need to understand your customer's hidden needs, not what you think. But in one of the videos which I shared, there is a name of assuming you know it all. That's also a mistake, right? Assuming you know it all. There are hidden needs which you're not aware of. Then interviews, ask neutral questions to uncover truth. Neutral, don't go direct questions, and close questions. And ethics, always. Ethics build trust to scale sustainability. Thank you very much. That's all from my side, Ida.
Yes.
Just quickly.
Yeah, sure.
I'm very sorry. What I was mentioning is exactly the thing, because I built a tool that analyzes the interviews, the customer interviews, and I wanted actually to ask your like a consent. If somebody against that, I will process it for my own purpose. Yeah. Then yeah, it's sad, but it was exactly about this.
Okay, but anyways, that was a really good point. So no worries, Vitalis. I mean, I also understood, and also I remember you were gladly sharing some of the like the teams can use your tool.
Yeah.
So also just please text on WhatsApp in our group.
We already did today.
Okay, perfect. Then you've done everything. You are ahead of the game. Thank you so much. And Pratik, you had a question or a comment? Just really quick.
Yeah. So I had a question for Diana. So Diana, there are certain products where we have more than two customer profiles. So for example, like in our case, even pharma companies can be our customer and even hospitals can be our customer. Would you suggest that we should try building with both, or focus on first one specific customer and then go on another one?
Focus on first group, really, and then you will have the use cases to go to another group already. You will have the proven use cases, proven results, which you can take to another one. Another one will be much faster, but focus on the first group, which is more relevant.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much once again. And thank you for the ones who have stayed until the end. Here you have the contact details, and I will share with you, yes, the slides and the recording of this workshop. Please, feedback form, don't forget, but I will also share it again. But just click on it right now, and maybe later you will fill it in. So yes, thank you so much, Diana. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you,
and
everyone.
Have a great rest of the week. However, tomorrow, so the ones who have not been individually connected with the mentors for the other time slots, I'm waiting for you for the one-to-one calls. Thank you, and see you later. Thank you.